Hi, this is Krystal with Canine 180. I'm here today with Lucy to start you off in the first video in our new webinar series. In this first video, we're going to discuss basics of dog ownership and making sure that you ask the right questions before you get a dog or bring a puppy into your home. And the first thing that we want people to consider before they get a dog is, the reason that you're getting the dog. Why are you getting a dog? Are you getting this dog because you want to help teach your children responsibility? Are you looking for a companion for when you come home from work in the evenings? Are you looking for a dog that's going to be protective because you don't feel safe in your location? It's really important to make sure that you're honest with yourself for who's going to be responsible for the dog. While children can learn a great deal of responsibility with helping care for an animal, the main responsibility, especially financially, is going to be put on the parents. So it's important to understand that while your children may learn a lot helping to care for the dog or animal that you bring into your home, it is ultimately your responsibility to ensure that the dog's needs are being met. Remember, dog ownership is a long commitment. Dogs tend to live for close to 15 years, and some can live even longer than that. So make sure that before you bring a dog into your home, that you ask yourself, where does my life look like it's going to be in 15 years? Is this the right decision for me? Is this a good decision for the dog I'm going to be bringing into my home? And make sure that, you're comfortable with that lengthy commitment. Another thing we want to talk about is the expense. Dogs are very, very expensive animals to own and can run you close to $1,000 a year just in basic needs. This is going to include food. For a medium-sized dog, it can average close to $50 a month, or more or less depending on the brand of dog food that you choose to feed. Flea and tick prevention in most areas in the U.S. is very, very important, and that can average about $15 a month as well. In addition to protecting your dog from fleas and ticks, you're also going to need to maintain heartworm prevention for your dog to ensure that they don't contract this potentially fatal disease. Most heartworm prevention is also going to help provide some parasite control as far as intestinal worms for your dog, and that's still going to cost an additional $15 to $20 a month depending on what you and your veterinarian choose to go with. Vaccinations and annual heartworm tests or blood work for older dogs can cost $200 and upwards for their annual exam. And remember, dogs aren't perfect. Just like us, they're prone to illness and injury. So make sure that you have available funds to help provide for your dog in the event that they do become sick or sustain an injury. Another thing to consider is the amount of time that you're going to have to spend with your dog. Are you gone long hours during the day? Are you potentially facing a move? It doesn't necessarily mean that you can't own a dog if you're going to be working long hours, but you do need to make sure that your dog's needs are being met if you can't be there. This might mean making sure that you're financially able to provide your dog with a dog walker to come by, or provide your dog with a secure area inside and outside, such as a doggy door, so that your dog can let themselves out to relieve themselves during the day. Another option for people that live in more urban environments is doggy daycare. There's a lot of places where you can drop your dog off in the morning and pick them up on the way home, and they get to spend the day socializing and playing with other dogs, which can be a great option. You also want to make sure that your dog is safe and secure while you're gone. So you need to make sure that your dog is provided with a crate, a secure enclosure. You want to make sure that they're going to be comfortable. You don't want to leave your dog outside when temperatures are very cold, or outside when it's very hot and they could sustain dehydration or heat stroke. It's important that your dog is safe as well. Invisible fence are great for helping contain your dog, but remember that does allow other animals and other dogs to potentially come into your yard, which can pose a threat to your animal. So make sure that you have a secure place for your dog to be when you're not home, and that it's not an area where your dog could potentially be destructive or get into dangerous chemicals, such as under a sink in the bathroom or a medicine drawer in your kitchen. Another thing to talk about is the type of dog that you're looking to get. When you ask yourself why you're getting a dog, you're going to have some characteristics that come to mind. Maybe you are laid back and you're just looking for somebody to snuggle with and a nice companion during the day. It wouldn't be ideal then for you to choose a very active breed such as a Belgian Malinois or a Labrador Retriever that's going to want to spend a great portion of their day playing and being active. At the same time, if you're looking for a jogging partner, a Basset Hound or a Dachshund might not be the best bet for you. So make sure that you do a lot of research, and there's some great resources on there. You can even visit the AKC's website, akc.org, and they'll give you some information on breeds. Remember that every dog's an individual, and just because you choose a specific breed, all dogs are going to have a personality of their own. So don't take their breed standards and temperaments to heart. You're going to still need to make sure that you provide your dog with a good deal of socialization and training, and understand, again, that your dog's an individual. You also want to consider the area that you live in. If you have a dog that needs a lot of space to be active throughout the day, you might want to consider that you need a yard to play fetch with your Labrador Retriever, on days when you can't get out and go jogging. That doesn't necessarily mean that large dogs can't be kept in apartments. It just means that you need to ensure that the exercise requirements are still going to be met for them. Climate's also a big deal. If you live on the southern end of Florida, a St. Bernard or a Siberian Husky might not be ideal for you because of the warm weather. In addition, if you live in a northern region, you might want to avoid dogs such as greyhounds or whippets that have very, very low body fat, and they don't have a coat to protect themselves from the cold. And you can get a coat for those dogs to help, but it may not be the best choice, especially if you have a dog that you're looking to keep, go outside with you a whole lot and go hiking. You're going to want a dog that's going to be able to tolerate the climate well with you when you're doing those outdoor activities with them. Grooming is another point to consider. Typically dogs with longer fur, poodle coats, those are going to require different types of grooming than a short-haired dog like a beagle, which just may require routine brushing and bathing. Health is also something to consider when you're looking at breeds. Different breeds are going to have different health issues, and if you're looking to get a puppy from a reputable breeder, it's important to ask if that breeder is going to offer health guarantees for that breed against genetic issues such as hip dysplasia, elbow dysplasia. Some dogs are prone to blindness or deafness, so make sure that you check with them and see if they're going to offer guarantees in the event that your puppy has one of those conditions. Another thing to consider is your brachiocephalic or short-nosed breeds like your bulldogs and your pugs. They may have some more difficulty with breathing, so again, if you're looking for a dog to be very, very active, keep in mind that those dogs may have some heavier exercise restrictions because of the difficulty of their physique. Again, dogs with lots of wrinkles, you're going to need to make sure that you're able to keep the folds of their skin nice and clean so that they don't get skin infections. Again, each dog's going to have their own. And what I'd recommend is when you think that you have an idea of what kind of dog is going to be great for your needs, is to talk with a reputable breeder. And they're listed on the AKC website, and you can also Google that. And look for a breeder that's going to allow you to come out and see the parents. Their dog should be registered. And most of the time you're going to pay a little bit more for a registered dog. But again, a lot of times that's going to include a breeder that's put in the time for training, making sure that the dog has a friendly and stable temperament, and also that the dog has met certain health criteria and passed certain health testings to ensure the bettering of the breed. You can also talk with a local trainer and contact them before you get a dog and have them help advise you on what might be a good breed to look for. If you want to rescue a dog, a lot of rescue organizations can also offer assistance as far as adoption placement and ensure that you're going to get a dog that's going to meet the needs of your home. You could even consider fostering a dog temporarily to see how they integrate with your family and then decide to adopt at a later time. And again, you can always contact us here at Canine 180, and if you have any questions, we'd be more than happy to help. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you guys in some future videos.